Hello England fans, welcome back to the channel. My name's Gary and in today's video I am giving my early Euro 2024 English squad for the tournament next summer. It's a 23-man squad and I'll be honest with you, I've not picked it yet. What I've done is calculated, or populated should I say, a list of names that I'm going to choose from. I think I've got about 60 players already on this list and I will be picking my 23 to go to the tournament if the tournament was tomorrow. If you're watching this in 6 months time, this is being recorded in November 2023, so this may change and I will update it closer to the tournament. So without further delay, let's get into it. So here we are, here's the 50 names that I have roundabout got together for this task, and as I've said at the start, some of these players, I mean TAA may go into midfield for example, James Maddison, who's often picked by England, will be included in forwards. I'm not too particularly bothered about which category they come under, this is just the categories I've placed them under. Essentially though, it's about the 23 men squad. So how this is going to work, I've got a garbage bin or trash bin or rubbish bin, whatever you want to call it, where you're from, is in the bottom right hand corner, and I'll be dragging players into that corner who definitely aren't going. Those that are remaining, there should be at the end of this 23 men remaining on this squad. So I'm going to go through them all, probably not go into full details about each individual player because we'll be here all night, but I'm going to end up leaving the 23 men that I want to take. Now obviously this is recorded in November 2023, so a good 6-7 months away from the tournament at least. So if you're watching this in 2024, I will have updated this, so this may change, but as of today in November, this is the squad that I would personally take. So getting straight into it, we've got the goalkeepers here in the top left hand corner. We've got Pope, Trafford, Pickford, Ramsdale and Johnston. So straight away, my two goalkeepers 100% are Pickford and Ramsdale. Pickford's number 1, Ramsdale number 2. This means that the third choice, Trafford, Pope or Johnston, isn't going to play. They are not going to play any minutes. So I need to start to think about who do I want to take. The first person I'm going to get rid of straight into the bin is Sam Johnston. He's not going. He is not going in my squad, in Gareth Southgate's, in anybody's, I don't think. That then leaves Pope or Trafford to be that third choice. Now this is going to be controversial right off the bat, and for me, Pope stays at home, Trafford goes. There's 10 years difference between these two players. As I've said, the third choice will not be getting any games anyway, so I want to take youth. Trafford has just come off the back of a successful youth tournament with the under-21s, winning the tournament that summer, and why not give him that time, that experience at a senior level. Pope isn't good enough with the ball at his feet. I know people will be absolutely screaming at this, in shock that I haven't included Pope in my goalkeepers, because for some people he's our number 1. It's just not for me. The way England play, it's so vital that we have a goalkeeper who is comfortable with the ball at his feet, and Pope isn't that goalkeeper. So Nick Pope stays at home, and therefore my 3 goalkeepers are Trafford, Pickford and Ramsdale. Just while I've got your attention, if you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. It really does help small channels out like myself. I want to keep making these videos, so please support me any way you can. Now back to the video. Right, straight on to defenders. So I'm going to carry on going through all of this and get rid of some of the obvious players that I don't want to take or won't be taking. So Reece James goes at the minute, Kieran Trippier goes, TAA goes because like I said, he can come into midfield obviously, and he probably will be a midfielder for England. John Stones goes as our best centre-back. Kyle Walker goes. I think him and Trippier are just so experienced and can play in multiple areas. Harry Maguire, I'm going to come back to him in a moment. Lewis, he's staying. He's staying. As good as he is, it's too early for him, and he's the first defender I'm taking out. Mark Gay, he's another player I'm going to give myself a little bit of time and come back to, as I am Lewis Dunk. Tomori, and again people will disagree with this, but looking at some of these centre-backs that I'm already considering, I just don't see a place for Tomori. I think he's good, but I just don't think I think we've got better. I do think we've got better. I don't think he's strong enough, physically enough, big enough, and he's not shown enough for me when he has played for England that he is this outstanding saviour of a centre-back that we've needed to come in and replace Maguire, and particularly the way Dunk's played in recent call-ups as well. I don't know. For me, Tomori, I'm not a huge fan, and he would stay at home, so he's going away. As will Colwill. I'm not taking him. Again, I think it's a tournament too soon. Concert, again, probably a tournament too soon as well, given the fact that in this area there's a vast amount of experience. And I will probably be picking experience, but you'll see in a moment. Ben White. Now, I don't know about Ben White because he's been playing right back, hasn't he? He is a centre-back, but he's a right back. Where does he fit in? There's clearly issues there with what happened with Ben White and Steve Holland that we're not privy to. But clearly, he does seem to have an influence in the dressing room. So I'm not sure about him. I'm going to give myself a little bit more time on him. Shaw and Chilwell probably go for me as well. So I'll have a look, see how many I'm left with, because I've still got quite a few defenders, as you can see. Dan Burn, though, I'm probably keeping him at home. As great as he is, and I'm a huge fan, I just don't think he's had enough experience at this level. And you could probably argue the same with some of these others, but I don't know. Just for me, someone's got to stay behind. Dan Burn would be one of the players that I would pick not to go. So I am going to come back to these defenders because I'm going to work out how many I've got left from midfielders and forwards and start to trim this squad down from there till I get to the 23. So going on to midfield, we've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek straight away. He's going in the bin. He's not going. Garner as well. He wouldn't go for me. Henderson, and this may cause me some problems because you will see why Gareth Southgate is calling players like John and Henderson up still to the squad because we are quite short in this area, but he doesn't go now because of his Saudi move. I think we've got better players playing in more competitive competitions by the time the next Euros comes around. He'll have been in Saudi Arabia for a long, long time, and he just wouldn't go for me. Bellingham, I'm not even discussing it, goes. Rice, of course, goes. Phillips, I'm going to come back to him in a minute. Jacob Ramsey and Aaron Ramsey, they're obviously the two brothers. Jacob Ramsey arguably ahead. Probably a little bit too soon for both, but I do like them both, but they are probably not going to make this tournament for me neither. Conor Gallagher, like Phillips, I'm going to give myself a little bit of time for him. James Maddison goes, so let me swap those round because I'll put the ones that are definitely going to the top. Who else have we got? Morgan Gibbs-White doesn't go. Great player, but even though we are quite short in midfield, I tell you what, I'm going to keep him there. Have a bit of thinking time. Dyer doesn't go. Mount is a difficult one. I'm going to keep him in there, but he's just not showing the form, is he, for Manchester United? I know he's been injured, but his move there hasn't worked out so far, has it? Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. There's going to be some players that get in, particularly in central midfield, just because we haven't got the strength in depth. Because at the minute, look, there's only 3 starters. Certain picks, never mind starters for central midfield. Longstaff doesn't go for me. Jones, probably a tournament too soon, but I'm going to keep him there for now. James Ward-Prowse, now he is one that I am really interested in. I really like James Ward-Prowse. For me, he goes. I'm putting him in. For me, he goes. And I just think he's not being given the real opportunities for England he's probably and arguably deserves. He's obviously on fantastic form at the minute. I just think James Ward-Prowse needs looking at, particularly as we are so weak in that area of the pitch. Eze, I'm going to give myself a little bit more time on him. Palmer and Gordon. 2 very tricky ones. And I'm going to come back. So at the minute, I'm going to come back to these guys here and I'll come back to forwards. So going on to forwards, Jadon Sancho obviously doesn't go. Madueke doesn't go. It's too early for him. He looks a great, exciting talent, but it's just too early. Marcus Rashford, he does go in my squad, even though for England he arguably underperforms. Edwards doesn't go. Neither does Eddie Nketiah for me. Jared Bowen, I don't take him, I'm afraid. Raheem Sterling, 100% goes in my squad. He is, after Saka, our best wide player. Without a doubt, Raheem Sterling is in my squad for next year's Euros, and I hope Southgate takes him. Saka obviously goes. Harry Kane goes, of course. Wilson, he doesn't go for me, and I'm going to come on to why in a moment. March, he doesn't go. Neither does Barnes. Jack Grealish goes. Phil Foden goes. And then it's between Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins. And I'm going to make my mind up now and say Toney stays at home and Ollie Watkins goes. I think he's on fantastic form now and I don't see him slowing down. I think he's quick. I think he offers us something really different. And I'm just a big Ollie Watkins fan. It's as simple as that. So let's work out what I've got here. Let's go back to these defenders and work out who I'm definitely taking. Reece James definitely goes. And obviously this is if they're all fit. James definitely goes. Trippier definitely goes. TAA goes. Stones, Walker. Let me move Maguire down. Shaw and Chilwell both go. So that leaves, I've picked 21 players here, so that leaves me with 2 players to pick from this list here and this list here. So only, and this is where it gets very difficult. As you can see, 23 men isn't a lot. And we are looking here. So I've got 2 right backs in here, most certainly. Trippier and Walker. TA obviously can come in as cover. My two left backs, and Reece James as well. My two left backs, Shaw and Chilwell. Centre backs, though, I am short here, so I need a centre back. I know Walker can play centre back, but at the minute I've only got Stones in. I'm taking Dunk as my centre back. I think he's a great player. A little bit long in the tooth now to be coming into the England squad, but he should have been in it earlier. And then that leaves me with one player. I mean, I've only got three centre backs really at push with Walker coming in. So I am pretty short at centre back, and I'm really short in midfield here. So yeah, 22. I can only take one more player. Do I take another centre back, an experienced centre back in Maguire? Ben White stays. I've decided he's not going. Let me get rid of some of these now. I mean, looking in midfield, it's going to have to be a midfielder. We've got Bellingham. Obviously, it could be an attacking option. Rice, Maddison. So we've got some attacking midfielders in here. I probably need to take another holding midfielder, don't I? I mean, this is so tricky. Phillips just isn't playing. I hope to goodness he leaves Manchester City, but at the minute, does he get in my squad? I'm not sure he does. I think Palmer stays, Gordon stays, Jones stays, Eze stays, Gibbs-White stays. I just think it's a tournament too soon for a lot of those players. So one player out of these remaining 5. Who completes my squad? I think looking at this, Gahey and Maguire stay. So then I'm picking we need a midfielder, central midfielder. So that's why they've gone in the bin. I can't believe I've not picked Maguire, by the way. I really can't. But I just think now's the time for us to move on. It does worry me though at centre back. We wouldn't be very strong here. So maybe I've made a mistake. It's a one I'm willing to take. I can't decide who's my final midfielder. Mount's just not playing well enough. Gallagher, what does he do? Does he do anything? Does he do enough? Phillips comes in for England, plays incredibly well for England, it has to be said, but he's just not getting game time. Oh, I'm struggling. I'm really, really struggling here. I'm probably going to take Calvin Phillips, and that's because out of those 3 that are left, I would rather Calvin Phillips be playing in England squad in a major game than Mount or Gallagher. It's as simple as that. So Gallagher and Mount stay at home. And that is essentially my 23-man squad. And I'll be honest with you, it's not what I thought it would be. I'm pretty certain I've not missed anyone obvious out here. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments if I have done. Midfield was so weak, and this is where, when you look back earlier in the video when I'm going on about Jordan Henderson, you can see exactly why Jordan Henderson is still being picked by Gareth Southgate, because he's that perfect balanced midfielder at the minute that we're just struggling with. Maybe me picking James Ward-Prowse early on was the wrong idea. I don't know, but that's what I've committed to now. That is my 23-men squad. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This will change probably. I'll be honest with you, if I did this in a month's time, it would probably change again. But this is what my squad is as of today. Let me know what you guys think. So that's my squad for the Euros. Really surprised myself, I really have. I'll be really interested to know yours in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all on my next video.